Today on LA Picked, we're gonna carve, a wooden spoon. Well, actually, I'm gonna do the carving, but feel free to tag along. Before I get into today's spoon carving, I want to thank you for watching my videos. If nobody watched them, I'd still be woodworking, but I wouldn't have the drive to keep pushing myself, to stay motivated and creative, constantly thinking of new and cool things to build. I'd also like to bring to your attention one specific viewer. His name is Robin. He's 91 and a former woodworker. His daughter made a wonderful comment on one of my videos. Let me read it to you. She said, "I love your videos. I download a few each week onto my iPad and bring them with me to see my dad. He's 91 and in a care home. He used to have a fabulous workshop, and I know he misses it. We watch your videos together, and he never takes his eyes off the screen. These videos put a smile on his face, and I'm so grateful for it." Well, I'm grateful for you, Robin, and I thank you guys for watching my videos and helping to keep me motivated and inspired. Now let's make a spoon. So I get this letter in the mail today from one of my viewers.
The mail's here!
It says, "Tom, why would you make a wood spoon when you could buy one for $2? Okay, well, I really didn't get this letter in the mail. Nobody sends letters anymore, but that is a very good question. Why would you make one when you can buy one for just a couple of bucks? Well, the answer, it's fun, it's easy, and you can't buy one that looks like this. If I am going to carve a spoon, it has to be different. So I found the image on Google, then I threw it into Google Docs. I converted it to black and white in order to save on ink because I'm cheap that way. Then I resized it, printed it out, and now I've got this image to trace onto the wood. Before we deep dive into the work, there's two things you're going to need: wood and tools. A quick word about each. You can use any type of wood, but I chose basswood since it's a softer wood and much easier to carve, especially if this is your first carving project. I bought this large piece at a flea market last month for just a few bucks. Fortunately, this is old wood and well seasoned. In other words, it won't split or crack after I carve it. There are 3 cutting tools in this kit: a long bent gouge, a whittling or straight knife, a spoon knife or hook knife. Now the fun can begin. Protect your hands. Use band-aids, carving tape, or carving gloves. Remember that the grain of the wood runs in the direction lengthwise. The carving directions for the scoop on the spoon should be across the grain in these directions. When you cut just in the direction of the grain, you risk running along the wood grain and splitting or taking off more wood than you intended. I start off using the hook knife. It's chipping away at the wood, but it's a bit jumpy and the cuts are a little jagged. Seems to me like it needs a little sharpening right out of the box. I switched to using this gouge, much better. I noticed a difference immediately. Smoother cuts and lighter pressure. I like this one. I didn't even think I would need this gouge, but I really like it for cutting the inside shape of the spoon. Always get in a comfortable position. Protect any and all body parts from the knife in case it slips. So it's about halftime on my spoon project. I've got about 2 to 3 hours into it so far, but before I start sanding and applying a finish, I'd like to go over some of the things that I've learned so far.
Look at me when I'm talking, son.
First of all, this is fun and relaxing. I don't know how difficult this looks to you, but I find it extremely easy. If you've got enough strength in your hand to manipulate a knife, you can do it. Secondly, The blades will need to be sharpened as you go. Now, they're fairly sharp right out of the box, and they will work, but the cuts are not as clean and precise as they would be with a good sharp knife. Now, this video is not about how to sharpen the knives. The basic sharpening method is to use some ultrafine sandpaper and a leather strop. Third, protect your hands and your fingers. They sell wood carving gloves, tape. I used Band-Aids, but always remember to keep your body parts out of the path of a blade that can slip. Lastly, if you do attempt this, don't get hung up on making your project perfect. Just know that you're going to learn a lot as you go. The second one is going to be better, and you're going to keep improving as you go. And the key word here is go. Just give it a try. Once you have the basic shape cut the way you want, get out the sandpaper. I'll start with 80 grit and then switch to 150. Sanding will take you as long or longer than the actual carving itself. I didn't time myself to see how long this took from beginning to end, but I'd guess it took anywhere between 4 and 5 hours for my first one here. When it comes to applying a good finish, I've seen and read many opinions. One interesting one was to boil the spoon in skim milk. For my first one, I'll just use this homemade batch of butcher block oil, which consists of beeswax and refractionated coconut oil. Now you can be like everybody else and have a wood spoon that looks like this. Or you can be a little more creative and have one like this. It looks more like a piece of art rather than a spoon. But just don't juggle with it. Thanks for watching Alley Picked. Until next time, I'll meet you in the alley.